Alfred Ngaro.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. To the Minister of Housing, what progress has the government made in growing the community housing sector?
Honourable Nick Smith.
Mr Speaker, we are on target to treble the size of the community housing providers through this term of Parliament to over 1,000 homes with both grants and legislative reform. Over the past month, the government has entered into partnership agreements with Accessible Properties, Habitat for Humanity, Comcare, Vision West, the New Zealand Housing Foundation, the Chinese New Settlers Services Trust for the construction of 158 homes in Christchurch, Wellington, Hamilton, Tauranga and Auckland, with the average contribution of taxpayers about $180,000 per home. The other changes that we're making with the Social Housing Reform Bill that we hope to have passed by Christmas will further help growth of the sector.
Supplementary, Alfred Ngaro.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. What are the advantages of a more diverse social housing sector involving community organisations, and what has the government learned from international experience?
Honourable Nick Smith.
The first is that social housing tenants often have complex needs and need more than just a roof over their head. They need specialist community providers that are able to provide those wraparound services that make a real difference for families. The second is that community organisations do a better job of stretching the taxpayer dollar and getting more homes for the taxpayer dollar. And the third is that if we look at community housing organisations that are huge in places like the United Kingdom and Australia, they have a far better record of consistently managing the quality of their housing far more than state housing organisations, not just in New Zealand but internationally. Our long-term goal is in fact to grow the community housing sector up to 20% of New Zealand's social housing.
Supplementary, Alfred Ngaro.
How does the government's social housing reforms fit with the government's broader program to improve access to affordable housing?
Mr Speaker,
Honourable Nick Smith.
the changes that we're making in social housing is just a part of the program. We've announced changes and passed legislation to free up land supply. We've expanded for support for first home buyers with our changes to KiwiSaver and Welcome Home loans. We have legislation that will be coming into Parliament around development contributions. And tomorrow I'll be announcing with my colleague, the Minister of Commerce, the results of our market study into building materials costs, because all of these measures are required if we're going to give Kiwi families access to more affordable housing.
Question number 12, Claire Curran.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. My question is